Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Minister, for testifying today. I want to talk about safety. We often talk about aircrafts falling out of the sky, which is important, or getting clipped as you're taxiing. But I'm worried about these increased amounts of unmanned aircraft systems, UAS, drones that are falling out of the sky. We just saw Ukraine conduct one of the most significant operations of the Russian-Ukraine war. And with a small amount of money, with a small amount of quadcopters, they were able to decimate Russia's long-range strategic bombers, okay, to the tunes of billions of dollars. I'm worried about that. I mean, that's not a what if. That's now. That is currently, right now, what is happening. My question is pretty simple. Is our U.S. airspace safe from drone threats?
I would refer that question to the national security, but our airspace today is capable of managing safe integration of UAS.
Because this is what I worry about, is after 9/11, everyone's pointing fingers and everyone saw this coming, but it's always somebody else's preview, right? And I'm trying to figure out, everyone has a piece of it, and I'm trying to figure out what role FAA plays in this when it comes to drone technology, when it comes to drone interaction, when it comes to that piece to it.
It's a great question, and I should highlight the close coordination, collaboration, and communication between the FAA, the DOT, the Department of Defense, the Department of Homeland Security for the things you're talking about. As we work through integrating UAS into the airspace, we're working alongside our national security partners every day.
Let me ask you another question. How many drones were in U.S. airspace yesterday?
I'll have to take an IOU on that one for you. I know we fly thousands of drones every day in the airspace. I don't have an accurate count for you today.
We should absolutely know what drones are in our airspace every single day. And that's what I want us to get to. Who's in the air? What are they doing in there? What are the intentions? And I don't want to wait until it's after the fact. I want to get ahead of that. To that point, what resources do you need? Does FAA need from Congress to ensure that critical infrastructure from future drone threats is safe?
So our budget, in fact, does incorporate our need from Congress, our support from Congress, to make sure that as we work through this safe integration into the airspace, that we're working specifically on things like drone detection, drone mitigation. Again, working with our national security partners who do this for a living.
I think this is important. Once again, this isn't the future. We're here, right? And guess what? Every drone that's up in the air isn't necessarily gonna cause harm, but there may be some that do. And we're at a point where very soon, Amazon packages are going to be delivered. It's going to be a very busy airspace. It already is. And the fact we need to know how many drones are in the air, and we need to know what those drones' intentions are. And we also need to have counter UAS incentives, our mitigations involved in that. And I think FAA plays a role in that. I understand you're working with other partners, but the airspace belongs to you, right, in many cases. So how do we continue to work with that? Big part of that is a budget on that. I'd love to continue to work with you and hear back on some of your answers.
I'd be happy to do that. We are very much in favor of the drone detection and, of course, the mitigation when appropriately utilized.
I have 1 minute left. My last question is on this. Section 570 of FAA Reauthorization Act directs the department to partner with national academies to assess the loss of commercial air service in small communities and identify options for restoring it. I appreciate the directive, and I think it comes at a critical time for Del Rio. Del Rio is a border community. Del Rio is central to Laughlin Air Force Base, as well as the Del Rio Border Patrol sector. Can you speak to how the department is, and we're currently without an airline, right? That community has no access to an airline. Can you speak to how the department is implementing the Section 570 study, and whether Del Rio, given its proximity to international trade, military installations, and key trade corridors, will be considered in this assessment?
Yes, sir. Appreciate the question because having just returned from the general aviation, business aviation community, I understand the importance of small community air service. I know that our team has been working intensely on doing the analysis that you talk about that reauthorization directs us. I will circle back with you with the latest on that effort.
Great. Thank you. I yield back, Chairman.
You know, I think Mr. Gonzalez, in his previous question, asks a good question, so I'm going to follow up real quickly. How would it even be possible for the FAA to know how many drones were in